We are continuing our look at Proverbs. This time we're looking at chapter 8, which entitled in my study Bible here, Wisdom's Call. And we're looking at wisdom. Again, there's some picture language. There's a hymn in verses 22 to 31, often associated with the pre-incarnate Jesus Christ. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening here. Now this comes right after it warns against the attractions of the prostitute, of the adulteress. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? So you've got the adulteress, yes, she is seeking you out, but also wisdom is seeking you out. Your parents come to you and they want you to learn. Solomon wants his son to gain knowledge here, right? On the heights along the way where the paths meet, she takes her stand. Beside the gates leading into the city at the entrances, she cries aloud. So on the heights along the way, so as you're journeying, wisdom's there for you. Where people come together, where the paths meet, wisdom's there for you. And that's often where you might take a break. Beside the gates, where everybody goes through the gates. This is also where the elders, those who would take care of the laws of the city before they had kings, would sit. They would sit at the gate and they would give out wisdom so that they could solve disputes and they could help people when they had issues. So beside the gates leading into the city, at the entrances, she cries aloud. So everywhere. She wants you to hear, just like Christ wants you to hear everywhere. Now look around the world today. We have more opportunity to hear and know wisdom than ever before. It's there and it's easy to access. 4. To you, O men, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, gain understanding. Okay, I'm going to transform you. I'm going to alter who you are. I'm going to make you a better person. Listen, for I have worthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse. So everything I'm giving you is right. It's good. It's salutary, meaning it's good for you. So listen to it. I'm not speaking to hear myself. I'm speaking because this is good and this will change your life and change how you live with others for the better. To the discerning, all of them are right. They are faultless to those who have knowledge. So discernment is a good thing. Being able to tell good things from bad things, whether an egg is rotten or not, whether milk is spoiled or not. That's discerning. Whether clothing looks good on you or looks awful, that's discerning. Well, the discerning see what wisdom says and says, oh, this is good stuff. 10. Choose my instruction instead of silver, knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. It has the greatest value. Jesus talked about the pearl of great price, which was salvation. Wisdom brings us the knowledge of salvation. It is by wisdom that Jesus calls us into his own. As such, it has infinite and greatest value. And if you have to sell everything else to gain this wisdom, if you have to have nothing else and you gain this wisdom, you still have everything. So wisdom, seeking out the will of God, this is essential. When Polycarp, the legend says, when he was going to die, people asked him to reject his Lord, and he wouldn't have to die, burnt in the fire. He's about 100 years old. And if I remember right, his quote was, my Lord has remembered me for, 100 years? How could I forget him now? So you know the Lord, you have this, and it can take you through anything. 12. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. So if you're wise, then you're not going to do things which are going to lead to disaster. That's prudence. If you're wise, then you're going to have the understanding you need to do tasks, knowledge, and you're going to use that understanding in a way which looks out for the interests of other people and avoids danger, discretion. So wisdom, when you have it, it makes everything better. 13, to fear the Lord is to hate evil. Okay, so the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. This we know, right, from Psalms. This we know now from Proverbs. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. If you are worried about God's destruction, then you don't do evil. You hate doing evil because you're going to be destroyed. If you're worried about God not loving you, then you don't do evil because you know it disappoints the Lord. I, that is wisdom, hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior, and perverse speech. A repetition of what has been said before. God wants you to be humble. He is superior to you. You know, he created you. He gave you all good gifts. It didn't come from me. Now, we should use those gifts with confidence, but he doesn't want us arrogating, giving to ourselves more than we are. He wants us giving the glory to Jesus, the one who gave us these gifts. Evil behavior, God hates them, that leads to death. And perverse speech, well, again, that leads to death. Perverse speech, whether it's lying or tearing people down or causing people issues and troubles and causing chaos, all these things wisdom hates. Wisdom wants order. It wants a society that's structured and that functions. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have understanding and power. By me kings reign and rulers make laws that are just. By me princes govern and all nobles who rule on earth. So if you're doing as a king the thing which God put you in authority to do, which is punishing evil and rewarding those who do good, rewarding good, you're following wisdom. God set up a design for the world which operates and has operated from the very beginning. It doesn't change. From the very beginning, it has been good to bless the family. That hasn't changed in society. From the very beginning, if you are a violent man, violence will occur with you. It's been good to be peaceful. From the very beginning, it's been good to produce with your hands, to work hard. These things, these structures have always existed. And wisdom is what gives us knowledge of these structures of God's plans. Now, first unto salvation, but also living here. And so if you're a good ruler, you follow the same design that Hammurabi put up in his code. I mention him because he always shows up in those old textbooks, right? Social studies, who'd you learn about? Hammurabi's code. Wisdom written down, ideas that God had that have existed from beginning. Do not do unto your neighbor what you would not have him do to you. Christ then said, love your neighbor as you would have him love you, right? But that's the wisdom, right? It's been around. It's been around since the very beginning. You can trace it all the way back. 17. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. Okay? When you love someone, you're around them, and you do what's in their best interest. And wisdom doesn't hide. You want wisdom, wisdom's coming. Wisdom's coming in like a train. Okay? Jesus does not hide faith from us. You say, Lord, give me faith. He's coming. He's taking you. Right? He's taking you, really, he resurrected you before you even knew that this is what you desire. So wisdom's not going to hide from you. This idea kind of that wisdom is hard to get, is a false idea. It can be complex, it can be detailed, it can be difficult to remember the vastness of wisdom and the complexity of wisdom. But at its base, wisdom is really pretty simple. You know, treat other people the way you want to be treated. Oh, that makes sense. Work hard. You know, the things that Solomon's saying in here, they're not complex. These are pretty simple. And it's going to come to you when you seek it. You're going to learn how to treat other people well. If you want to treat other people well, wisdom will be glad and will actively and successfully teach you to treat other people well. Okay, we're going to stop there, and the next video will continue in chapter 8.